Well, it was a great ending, we could say that. But yeah, let's just start with the topic of the replacement referees. The ref today was horrible, absolutely horrible. He, I wasn't watching on TV as at the game, and someone told me that on TV or on Apple TV they said that this ref had never refed a center official. I don't know, as a center official. I don't know how true that is, or uh, at what level has he coached or refed a game like that. But if that's true, that's just ridiculous. But it seemed like he had never refed one in his life, because it was overall awful performance from the ref. But the first half we played really well. Credit to the team. Columbus is really good as well. So we played really well. Sandbang on the right was absolutely terrorizing all of Columbus. He was on fire all game. We just really needed to capitalize on our chances, and that was a theme of last year, and hopefully it doesn't continue. But we created some good chances in the first half that we just really couldn't get the ball in the back of the net. Some half chances too. The one that sticks out to me is Sandbang when he was through on net, and does a great sequence of play. Just unlucky, his pass gets blocked by the defender's leg when he was trying to tee it up for Pookie. Just really unfortunate after that great sequence of play from Sandman, who I can't emphasize enough was absolutely immense today. Absolutely immense. Just unreal performance from him. And hopefully we see a lot more from him as he got the start today, with Ray gone, or not gone, but injured, Bongi injured or not available, as well as Robin Lod injured, and Franco was not available as well. So that in itself was four huge players out, and to get a draw against Columbus, the MLS Cup champions from last year, in the end of the day, it was a good result. But like seeing the youth and Caden Clark, who started today, and then some of the kids that got subbed on, like Tani, who got the game-winning goal, which was a great goal from Tani, kind of creates everything out of nothing. He created that goal out of nothing, really getting the rebound on the back post and not freaking out, taking a shot right away, kind of composing himself, dribbling away from the goalie, and just saw that it was open and took a shot and curled it, which basically was the last kick of the game. And yeah, I agree. The pressing was great. The 3G, the pressing was great. Yeah, it's so much fun to watch this team compared to last year with the basically similar players. Just the amount of work with the press as a full team, and you could see at points, at least I could from where I was sitting. There was a point when some of the kids later on had gotten subbed on, and we weren't pressing as a team, like as a full unit. Hassani kind of got on their ass a little bit and yelled at them when they needed to press, and then they kind of got a little bit more in the swing of things, which was nice to see some leadership from Hassani, who you'd think is more of one of the younger players on our team, but he's definitely needed to step up. I think this year, I think he'll be more of a senior player, and he needs to step more into a senior player role, which in the past I think he definitely has. But like, I think you guys understand what I mean. But just the pressing as a team, it's just great, because it just creates all those chances that we haven't been converting, which Definitely. Um, will come. Just that half chance that maybe gets squandered, or that pass that maybe almost doesn't get through. I think a lot more of those will start happening when we get a 3-on-2 and a 2-on-1, when we're just stealing the ball in their other half and making them make mistakes is key, I think, for us. And obviously this play style, which was, it's just been so much nice, way better to see with everything, because last year, if we just sit back and play defensively in certain situations and put a bunch of crosses in that did nothing, like, yeah, we put balls in, but it wasn't just putting balls in to put balls in. We had people in the box making runs. We knew exactly where we wanted to put the ball. It wasn't just pray to God someone's going to get on the end of it. So, yeah, and I think Dotson could definitely benefit this style of play. I think a lot of our young midfielders, as well as other players, just so long were in this certain style of formation. Heath knew exactly what he wanted to play, how he wanted to play. And I think they're getting a little bit more freedom to not only make mistakes, but at the same time, just be more creative going forward. Uh, just overall, I think they're giving a little bit more trust that it in each other too. If let's go say going forward, I saw a lot more of Sandbing trying things, and we saw a little bit of that from Bongi once in a while last year in other situations. But I think they're trying things and it's coming off a lot more, because I think they have more confidence in themselves and the style of play and everything, and just knowing that if they do give the ball away, they're going to win it right back as a team, pressing and stuff. So yeah, I think that could definitely benefit his style. The one thing is, I think our midfield is very congested with the amount of players we have, which is, but by any means, not a bad thing. I think a lot of flexibility can be used with a lot of these players. So see how Dotson fits in some of the ways that maybe, I know Cameron Knowles has been doing similar things to what Eric Ramsey wants to do going forward, play styles and whatnot, potentially. That's what it seems to be, that we're trying to kind of ease into that system already. Kind of already knew kind of how we wanted to play potentially. We'll have to obviously see when Ramsey gets here what all happens and how he sees the team and whatnot. But yeah, I really think this team could use different formations with the amount of midfielders we have, with the young midfielders we have, as well as Will Trapp, Dotson, Arriaga from last year. We don't need to just play three across or a diamond. I think we can do a lot with, like, a lot of these young midfielders that look like they got a little bit more pace. They got more speed. Brian, I think that's how you pronounce the Costa Rican's name. I know I called him Brian last week, but Brian or whatever. Completely sorry for messing that up, but I think that all these players, as well as the Carlos Harvey, the Panamanian guy we signed, I think there's just a lot of the options, which is nice with the congested schedule, everything coming up, Leagues Cup, which isn't going to be bad, as well as I think we have a lot more options personally on the wing. I think we know this, that Adrian was very skeptical to play younger players, and we've already seen a lot more young players get chances, and they're already paying dividends. Loic Mazzavini, kid from Lakeville, looked pretty good today in certain spots, and then there was times where he didn't look good, but then there was times where he looked great. So, like, finding that good median and making that great come out of him a lot. Like, he had a shot volley blocked that almost got deflected in. Like, there was just a couple times where Hassani actually yelled at him and I believe another player for the amount of pressing that they need to be doing. That's who I kind of referred to. I would like to say Iwe maybe come back into the folds. I think he'll be playing a lot for our second team. But it just is very promising that we have a lot of these players. And some of the new acquisitions looked pretty well today, looked good. It didn't stand out completely by any means, but looked good. Moises Nyman looked all right, and Jordan Abeyo Smith came on for a bit. Just a lot of young guys. Tani actually obviously looked great. I think out of everyone, Tani's impressed me the most. I honestly would love to see him. I know we have Timo Pukki and he's a big earner, but honestly, I'd like Tani to get 30 minutes off the bench every game. Like Timo can go for 60. Tani comes off the bench because this kid has got something about him. He led the smart layoff pass for the assist last week. This goal was great. His hold-up play a lot of times today was absolutely immense. Holding off 2-3 players while still holding on the ball and then keeping the ball and laying off a pass to a midfielder. And yeah, I can't speak it highly enough about how well he's played. And yeah, just a short amount of time. It's just a very exciting time with all this young talent. And the back line looked pretty well, pretty good, solid. Boxall was a wall at the back again. Rosales played well. I think defensively, there were times where he stepped up and had a last-ditch tackle, and then there were times where he caught out of position kind of bad a couple times. DJ played all right. The other thing is the physicality of the game was I thought the ref, obviously, like I said earlier, was very poor, and I thought he let the game be really, really physical. And I thought that he didn't call it both ways as much. I thought there were times where we could have easily gotten a foul, but I'm sure Columbus Crew fans were thinking the same the other way as Rossi was diving, rolling all over the floor all game. So they were probably complaining about that quite a bit. But yeah, the ref was just poor, but I'll skip that. Like I said, a great goal. And then Dane came up with some huge saves in the first and second. Specifically in the first, Chicho Hernandez had a huge header that landed perfectly to him in the box, and Dane stepped up huge for that save. That was, I think, the biggest chance in the first half, but he had two other huge saves in the first half, as well as one or two late on in the second. And he was a brick wall. There were times where they created a great opportunity, and you honestly thought they were going to score, but Dane honestly shut everything down today. Their goal obviously was not to blame for St. Clair by any means. Definitely not his fault, but Chicho Hernandez did end up scoring later on. Very good goal for them. Christian Ramirez did get subbed on in the 45th minute. Got a pretty good standing ovation. It was nice to see him back. It was a little nice to us, I guess. He played. I thought he played pretty well, but there were people joking, saying, "Be nice to us. Hopefully, don't score." But yeah, I think I'll get into the player ratings and wrap it up. If anyone else has any comments, concerns, or questions, like Gabby did, just let me know and we'll talk about it. So I'll get into the player ratings. St. Clair, I'm going to give a 9 out of 10. I thought he played really well tonight. Like I said, some huge saves. DJ Taylor, yellow card, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Solid performance, maybe being a little generous, but I thought he played pretty well. Boxall, an 8 out of 10. I thought Boxy was great. Honestly, Boxy, 8 or 9. Either or. I thought he played outstanding. Tapias, 8 or 9. I thought both center backs were really good today. Rosales, I'm going to give a 7. I thought going forward, there were times where he was great. And then there were times where he showed up defensively early on. I know had a couple last-ditch tackles to save a huge chance or two. Honestly, maybe I think I'm giving him a 7 just because defensively a couple times he was getting burned. But he is playing out of position. And a 7, he played good. I'm being a little critical. 7's still good, but I would like to see the defensive capabilities kind of crank up a little bit. There were times where he's losing his man, and it got open a couple times. Chicho Hernandez hit a crazy crossfield pass that almost played in a player. I think he actually did play in a player, but that was Rosales was kind of cheating in, and yeah. So I'm going to go with Dotson, a 8 out of 10. I thought Dotson played pretty good in the midfield today. Will Trapp, a 7 out of 10. Braun, I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. I thought he could have been better today. There were times where he had a crossing opportunity or a shot opportunity that he just sent into Rosie, just really, really, really not accurate, and kind of squandering some opportunities. But in the midfield, I thought he played, besides those parts, played pretty well. Caden Clark, I'm going to give a 7, 8 out of 10. I thought he played pretty good. First start for the club, Minnesota boy. There was 1 or 2 times where he got the ball, not quite isolated with the defender, not 1v1, but he was at maybe an opportunity to create something. Kind of messed it up and seemed pretty upset with himself, obviously. But there was some very bright spots from Caden. Timu Puki, I'm going to give a 6 out of 10. I would have liked a little bit more from Timu today. Sanbing is my man of the match, even though he didn't score. I think this is one of the rare times where the non-goal scorer is the man of the match, because Sanbing was absolutely immense today on that right wing, just terrorizing Columbus. And I think a lot of people are really excited what they've seen from him. I really don't think he got a fair shake from Adrian. I think he should have got more opportunities, and he's proving that with how well he's played today and opening match week against Austin. But today he was immense, especially 10 out of 10 for me from Sangbin. Tani is going to get a 9 out of 10 for me. Absolutely great. Like, I can't keep talking about this kid enough. Just absolutely great. I shouldn't say kid. He's probably about the same age as me. I'm not sure. Look, Mensavini, he is, you could tell that he's young, raw, talent-wise, but when he's on the field, he looks good. He had a couple half chances, like this cross that landed to him. He got blocked, and then it ended up being a shot on goal because I think the deflection went for a shot on goal. But excuse me, one yawn. I'm sorry, one yawn. I don't want to make everyone else yawn. But look, he's young. He looks good. We need to get this kid a homegrown contract. I know he's on a short-term contract. I don't even want to try to dip into the MLS logistics of the contract structures and everything. Realistically, they should expand it more, and we should be able to have better players and stuff. But the restrictions, it might not help Minnesota United the long one, but like the restrictions is just so complicated. It's hard to keep track. Let's go. We're going to give him a 7.5 out of 10. I thought, yeah, 7.5 out of 10. Moises Nyman, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Came on for Brown, a good performance. Curvin Arriaga, 8 out of 10. I thought Kervin was really good when he came on. Definitely changed the game a bit. Jordan Abeyo Smith, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Was on for about 15 minutes max, maybe. But, yeah, I think all the subs kind of changed the game a little bit in their own way. Yeah. I lied. Two yawns. That's it. 2 yawns, just 2. But, and I'm going to hold myself to that. So the first one was because of the second one was because the first one made me do it again. So, but yeah, that's everyone. That's my player ratings. Yeah, that's about all I got. We have Orlando away next. A great start. I mean, a win and a draw. Preferably would have won home and drew an away, but I'll take an away win and a home draw against the defending MLS champions. You know, especially grabbing one at the death right there. It almost feels like a win, but I am wanting to hold this team accountable for more wonder walls this year, as we only had 4 last year. That's definitely something we need to be singing a lot more, is Wonderwall. And that is that. Because I just keep going, I'm going to ramble, and that is all I got. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the comments, questions, concerns, and as always, come on, you loons.